forward, or do you entertain probably bringing on Lacazette? It's not like we have a wealth of other options there, really and truly. I actually want to see how many shots there's been in this first half. On target, none. Like I said, everything's got to be better. It's just, you lot are not stupid people, so I'm not going to bore you lot with that. You lot are intelligent folks. You know when a game of football hasn't been good enough, like everything's just got to be better. It's not a tactical thing. Everything has to be better. From the first touch to the passing to, it's quite predictable, really and truly. Boy. Some boring game. I respect Arteta for clipping him that early. I used to complain about his late 80-minute Mighty Duck subs. Didn't think he'd be that proactive. When Lampard made changes in the first half and changed the game, people didn't say anything. But because it's Arteta, people say it's stupid and stuff like that. People just want to find a problem when there's nothing. Disclaimer, of course, I don't want to see that happen to Tavares. Of course, there's reality where he could have done it at halftime. Do I think Tavares could have survived till halftime? Yeah, but in that incident, if you're not doing what the manager asks, then I can't really complain. And if he concedes or Tavares does something and Arteta comes out after the game and says, yeah, I was going to take him off before that, it wouldn't make sense, really and truly. Prevention is better than cure. I mean, Rob Holding's attempted effort at goal sums us up, really and truly. Sums up the first half. I feel sorry for Eddie and Nketiah. He's isolated. I feel it's quite predictable what we're doing on the right-hand side with Saka and Odegaard and that. I feel Tierney's brought something, but yeah, man, it's what it is. It's quite predictable, if I'm completely honest. I think putting Odegaard on the right and put Lacazette on and we'll win this game. We cannot go into extra time. Holding and Tavares and Cedric have been booky. I can't lie. Bit harsh for Cedric. Patino looks lost, mate. Wouldn't say that, but I see why you'd say that because there's no leaders right now on the pitch. Of course they're going to. Holding has been terrible and our midfield has been invisible. Have we had any shots on target? Yeah, none. Feel for Tavares, but he was moving so nervous and sloppy, gave Arteta no choice. And that's another thing. He did look a bit nervous. Recall Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I hear it, man. Unfair to single out Nuno Tavares deserves to see the second half. I don't think anyone's singling him out. Like, nobody's blaming Tavares. We're not a goal down, and no one's saying Tavares is off the pace ahead of each other. But like you can see here, the passes, everything, he wasn't there. Like, well, you can't complain. You've had good games, you've had bad games. Learn from it. He's a 21-year-old, barely played, significant first-team football. Of course, there's going to be inconsistency. And especially away from home, if you can smell weakness, not that he's been the weakest area, things are going to happen. I want to see you throw your gloves down and them things. You're angry. We all know how quickly narratives can change, and somehow that will turn into he's disrespected the club's badge and all these sort of things. Maybe move Patino to the 10 and drop Odegaard deeper to start the second half. Trust me, that's what I'm on. Hard to judge Charlie in the first team when the overall quality has been poor. He has been quiet. Good lesson for him, but won't judge. Is Patino hiding? No. The fact we don't have Xhaka really shows. Tierney has stabilized the game. I think after seeing this game, Arteta will definitely look more harder for a centre mid. What's Sambi's best position? For me, is a 6, man. Maybe it's a case of he needs to get a bit more settled here and them things there, and you'll see a bit more expansiveness. But I see someone that can play on the ball, someone that wants to play. But in terms of what I want to see from an 8 or what I think is required from an 8 in an Arsenal shirt, I don't think that's Sambi Lokonga. I think you're a 6 or you're a box-to-box sort of man. I think in future you could be like Partey, where for me, Partey would be a lot better if you say you can get slightly higher, win the ball back, go into, break down moves and try and keep recycle possession. I think Lokonga can do that, but an 8? No. Not in the Prem anyways. I want to be wrong because it will show more versatility. Shoehorn Football DG, no direct link up. Missed the first 35 minutes lecturing my daughter. Looks like I ducked the stinker of the season. Boy, I don't know, but yeah, he made the right choice. Hopefully everyone at the club watching realizes how urgently we need to address the midfield this window. One injury or COVID outbreak and we're done. Holding's not necessarily given a good show in either. I'll be real. He's done all right. 5 out of 10. Nuno just looks off it to me, walking around out of possession. Sloppy moment. Still shocked he got taken off that early. Big arts for Patino to be thrown central midfield. Too physical for him. This is what it's about because it's only worse in the Prem. Obviously, the Prem has more quality, but it's physical as hell. And this is why, like Arteta said, you have a slow cook. You get your experience, you know. These games are a good test because they show you where you are, innit? Like, you immediately see what you're good at, what you're bad at. And I think so far from Charlie, I think he's shown to get on the ball. I think he's shown a willingness to put himself around physically. You know, he's a young 18-year-old man playing against grown men. He's going to always lose them battles physically and as a result be in and out of the game. And I think that's what's happened. Respectfully, I think he's shown up a bit more than Lokonga. Not that I'm saying that means to attack Lokonga and things like that. Evidently, I have higher standards for Lokonga than next to Charlie. You know, you're his senior for this footballing sense. Just chill out, man. Just let the guy develop. You get your little experience. Just let man develop, man. They can't do much about physics, like physicality, really. Yeah, you can hit gym, but again, he's 18. You got to be really careful about when you're putting them on these programs and all of these sort of things. And sometimes you have to just let nature do its thing, man. Boy, just needs to be better in the second half, clearly. Rubbish second half. Maybe bring on Marie and Laka. Nah. There's been a lot of counter attacks. The game's been open at times, and there's been a lot of counter attacks. And yeah, Marie counter attacks. Yeah. Tavares has suspect concentration levels. He does, man, but he's still learning. But this is why I told you lot to slow down because, again, not to criticize Tavares. When he signed for this club, he didn't speak about defending. He spoke about his right foot. I told people these are the things to look out for, you know. Told people not to. He's had some good games in an Arsenal shirt, but the thing is, people start lacking balance. He's a young man still learning. You know, he's got closer to Arsenal's first team than he really did in Benfica shirt. When can you say he was first choice at Benfica? I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying he's injured. You know, he's not injured. Raz, he's not injured. I'm just saying he's a young man. And like I said at the start of this, you know, we need to know, can we trust you lot away from home? I specifically said Lokonga, Patino, Tavares. Can we trust you lot away from home? Can we have faith? Tavares will come good again. As I said, Arteta, you got to remember, I can't remember the period, but I swear when we lost to like United and Liverpool, Tavares could have been dropped for them games. Arteta didn't. You know, in fact, there was many a time where the whole team could have been changed, you know. So I don't think, you know, there was a time where Tierney came back fit. He didn't play him straight away. So, and Tavares is a good player and he's shown he can get in Arteta's thoughts. But reality is you can't rest on your past laurels. Isolated to this game, you never got going, so the change needed to be made. Simple as that. Yeah, he could have done it at halftime, but sometimes you don't have that. And I feel the first touch was sloppy. He weren't really offering the outlet he was doing. He looked shaky defensively, summed up with that. It had to have been a shot at Leno's goal. Obviously, it was a back pass, so can't have any complaints. I love to see the anger and all them things, as I said. But yeah, man, you got again. This ain't your game. You make yourself a hero next time, innit? Certain man have given away penalties in Odegaard. We love him now, innit? So things can change. This is why I told you lot, stop gassing it. I've seen you lot say we should make him a striker. He should be a first choice right back. It's the same logic that saw Man see 2 good games from Marie. Start screaming he's the best centre half at the club. You know, I know fans get excited, but a lot of fans lack balance, man. A lot of you don't genuinely want to see what you're seeing. I'm talking about Tavares in general right now. There's a lot he needs to learn on. There was no way in hell he was ever going to be taking Tini's spot on a full-time basis. But I still retain faith in the young man. Rob Spence is doing a mazza. This is what I'm saying. You know what they're going to do, man. The poor man management, all of this. Yeah, there's a reality. If that was more senior players, would Arteta have done that? Could he have waited until halftime? Of course. But I like to see, we always say Arteta lacks proactiveness. You know, if Arteta has told him to do things on top of playing poor and he hasn't done it, then, boy, it has to happen. Is it the first time Arteta's made a sub before the second half? Probably in them circumstances. I wouldn't say, maybe there's been an injury at some point in the season. He's had to make a first half change, I'm sure. But under them circumstances, you're just not doing the business. I would say that's the first time I've seen that. Now, hopefully, there's only one word I'm thinking of personally, folks, and that's reaction, reaction, reaction. Hopefully, there's a reaction. Is that an asthma pump by Rob Holding? What's that? Hit the like button, people. 5 likes away from 300. We're doing all right. I'm always on Arteta for making cowardly decisions, but I respect this one. I think it was needed. A change that needed to be made. It took me by surprise, but yeah, man. Tavares ultimately just didn't look like he was with it mentally there today, man. As I said at the start, you got to know, can you prove that you can be trusted away from home? Because away from home is going to make the difference. It's not always going to be an Emirates thing. It's all lovely and cozy and them things there. Sometimes it's going to be in places like this, in situations like this, where it's uncomfortable. And if in games like this, if they smell weakness, they will harvest it.